Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric and Barry from Moss Pawn and Gun, and today we have yet another gun gripe for you. We're very happy that you guys like these videos, and we appreciate all the support and kind words you guys give. Today, the gun gripe is, what is a range ninja?
What is a range ninja?
What is a range ninja?
A range ninja is a gunshot commando who decides to arm himself and go into a range. He's going to show everybody what he knows. Okay? That's a range.
Well, it goes a little further than that too. It also comes down to like the way that they, they handle their guns. This kind of goes hand in hand with last week's episode where we talk about muzzle discipline.
Right.
When I think of a range ninja, this is what I think about. I think of a guy bringing in a gun, setting it on the counter, unzipping it, and it's the most decked out, ridiculous looking piece of garbage you've ever seen. Like, I mean, the kind of guy that buys the cheapest AR he can find and then tacks every known device on it thinking that's going to make him a better shot.
Right.
And then, goes into the range and makes obnoxious racket, doesn't try to aim or anything like that. And we're mainly referring to indoor ranges because, yeah, you go in an indoor range and the guy beside you's lighting out a 30-round mag out of an AR as fast as he can pull the trigger. I mean, that can be really annoying if you're trying to practice proper trigger squeeze on your pistol or something like that. So the range ninja, to me, is the kind of guy that just blatantly wants to show up and make racket and look like a doofus, and he doesn't care about skillfully putting rounds down range.
Well, most ranges limit you to 1 shot per second, which sounds fast, but it really isn't.
No.
It's bam, bam, bam. But they get in there and they rapid fire their gun against the range rules, and they get hollered at by the range staff, and sometimes the range even gets shut down. Ceasefire. They call a ceasefire, and they go in there, and I've seen them be ejected from the range, and they should be ejected from the range.
That's right.
They're practicing unsafe gun handling, and a lot of them don't know how to handle a gun. They want to go to a range and learn how to shoot it on their own, and that's very dangerous. When I take people to the range down here sometime, it gets scary. And I'm going to reiterate this again. Anybody in a range that sees anything inappropriate, you call a ceasefire. And they better put their gun down or they'll get ejected from the range. You do not be embarrassed if you see somebody doing something dangerous. Call them on it.
And again, this goes back to our other gun gripe where we talked about everyone is a safety. That's what we mean. Everyone is a safety when they're at a range. If you see someone doing something unsafe, then call them out. Besides a safety standpoint, the thing about range ninjas, if they fit into that category, they also give gun owners a bad name.
Absolutely.
Because they're also the kind of people that they show up and they bring their little dainty 90-pound girlfriend in there, and just because they want to act all macho and cool, they're going to pick the biggest freaking 500 Magnum revolver out of the rental case that they can find and say, "Here, honey, shoot this," and then she shoots it and it hits her in the face, like those guys that film their girls on YouTube, getting hit in the head with a Desert Eagle.
Yeah. What kind of irresponsibility is that? To put a gun like that in the hands of an inexperienced person is ridiculous.
Yeah, right. It is.
But these range ninjas are the kind that go out and shoot up in the air on the 4th of July and think the bullets never come back down.
Right.
We had some guys one year coming here bought 12-gauge slugs to fire up in the air on New Year's. That's a 1-ounce projectile falling from the sky, and the guy working here, John, he said, "Well, what are you going to do when they come down?" They said, "They come down." I guess they thought they go into orbit or something. This is exactly a prime example of what we're talking about.
That's how these people think,
Yeah.
Now, it's one thing, if you want to go out on 4th of July and shoot a black powder blank in the air, if you live out in the country, that's one thing. But if it's got a payload, that is highly irresponsible. Now, range ninjas can be in a lot of different forms. It doesn't have to be just a public indoor range. It doesn't have to be a public outdoor range. Basically, what we're saying is anyone that's irresponsible with firearms outdoors could be considered a range ninja. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen probably my most popular video, and that's the Mall Ninja AR video. You'll see a link to that here if you want to check it out. Now, yeah, that video has like 2 million views, but if people have not figured out by now, that video is a satire of range ninjas. I don't shoot like that. I don't shoot from the hip. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where apparently that video is so hilarious that people, I guess, relate to it or whatever the case may be, or young people, whatever. But that video is not to be taken in a serious context. No. It's just that, I don't know why that video went viral, but it did. So there it is. But anyway, that is an idea of someone that shows up at the range and acts like that. That is a range ninja. I mean, that's the bottom line.
And I've seen guys go in the range and shoot like that.
Yeah.
At an indoor range, they're firing from the hip. Oh yeah. Or they got a weed eater sling over their shoulder, and you're just spraying and praying.
That's right.
But like Eric said, the Mall Ninja AR was a joke. It was a joke, and when we got so many hits on it in the shop here, we had to take it out and shoot it.
Of course.
So yeah, it was cool.
It was.
It's not a practical weapon.
That's correct. And you know, it's one of those things, you know, also when it comes to range ninjas, another example of a range ninja, so to speak, would be someone that thinks they have to buy a black rifle just because they think it's going to make them a better shot. Those are the people that really get me. And of course, that's the kind of guy that, like, you know, slaps the case on the counter, unzips it, and it's the kitchen sink AR, the kitchen sink AK, and, you know, he thinks that, oh wow, because I spent all this money, I'm automatically Billy Badass. That is nothing further from the truth.
Right. People
like that, are, to me, are the most dangerous people to have around you, because they think that spending all that money, you know, the kind of person that buys, you know, another example of a range ninja is the kind of guy that buys a $2,000 AR, like a Colt, and then puts a $40 piece of glass on it.
Right, right.
I mean,
come on. Like Eric said, in peacetime, these people are the most dangerous to society, and if something ever happens, they're going to be the first one taken out because they don't have any tactics. They don't have a survival mentality.
No.
And these are the kind of people, the range ninjas are the kind that we talk about prepping a lot. Well, they're the ones that just buy a gun and ammo thinking that's all you got to have.
Right.
You know, a gun is only a small facet of survival. And
you know, in a disaster situation, a firearm at best is a tool.
Right.
And of course, you know, you got to know how to properly use a firearm. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if all you have is a 12-gauge topper single shot. If you employ proper tactics and train yourself in a way where you can utilize that gun in a proper way, then it's going to be a useful tool in a disaster situation.
Right.
But don't assume, people, that, you know, you need 50, 30-round mags hanging off of you to be an effective person in a fight, because it's just not the case.
Right.
You know, in the perfect situation, and let's say a disaster type arrangement or shit hits the fan, whatever, in fact, you know, avoiding confrontation is going to get you way further than any form of fighting with someone is going to get you.
Right. You got to use tactics. You don't put yourself in a bad position.
Correct.
That's the best way to survive.
But, you know, we had gotten to talking a little bit about what makes a range ninja and what a range ninja is. And if you guys have, you know, your suggestions you want to pipe through in the comment box, I invite you to, you know, we'll read all the comments, we'll get everyone's opinion. We may revisit this video at another point and then kind of talk about some of the ideas that you guys have for range ninjas. And we may do a range ninjas part 2 with some of your suggestions. But these are just our initial, you know, observations about what a range ninja is. I mean, everyone has their own idea of a range ninja. We know if you're a, you know, shotgun hunter, if you go out and, you know, shoot birds or whatever, that sort of thing, to you, a range ninja might be the type of guy that shows up to the trap range with a Sega 12. Okay, so everybody has their own version of what they think a range ninja is.
Right.
So leave your comments, suggestions, we'll read them. We appreciate you watching. And we hope that you enjoyed today's gun grade.
Well, we try to respond to the subscribers. You know, we try to give ideas. You know, let you have input, and we try to work on that. But Eric and I, we got so much stuff we can do. We could do a video or 2 every day for the rest of our lives, and we try to work in things. And a lot of time, a subscriber will call in with something that really hits us home, and we're going to be doing some of those here in the near future.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we have our own hotline coming in now because of the business phones are being tied up with subscribers. But if you want to call us on the hotline, it's 770-692-9326.
Yeah, we can't always come to the phone, but if we're free and we're able to talk to you, we'll be happy to answer any questions. Yeah, you can also, if you want, you can leave a message, and we'll try our best to call you back. Like I say, we'd love hearing from YouTube subscribers. If you want to call, of course, you're welcome to call. And we appreciate you watching.
But if you want us to call and we don't call you back, don't think we forgot about you. We just can't get to you.
Yeah, sometimes we're busy.
Right.
Of course, you are welcome to come by the shop. Either way, the address is in the description box. And we appreciate your business, and thanks for watching.
All right now. Thank y'all.
I think he hooked a Jacob.
Probably bigger than me.
Hope it's not a stingray.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. It might be a stingray.
I hope it's not.
Does it feel like you're reeling in a car door?
Not so much.
Is it pulling hard?
It's going
Still?
It jumped out of the water.
How big is it?
It's big, 2 feet or more.
How much sting line did it pull out? Jesus.
God, son of a